Dari Uthman ibn Affan berkata, aku mendengar Nabi SAW bersabda, sesiapa yang membaca Bismillahilladzi la yadurru ma'asmihi syai'un fil ardi wa la fis sama' wa huwa as-sami'ul alim, yang bermaksud dengan nama Allah yang dengan namanya tidak ada sesuatu pun yang dapat memberikan kemudaratan di bumi maupun di langit. Dialah yang maha mendengar lagi maha mengetahui. Sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala yang datang secara tiba-tiba sehingga subuh. Dan barang siapa yang membacanya ketika subuh sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala secara tiba-tiba sehingga petang, iaitu malam. Hadis rawahu Abu Dawud menurut Syekh Syu'ib Al-Arnud. Hadis ini adalah hasan.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all who are watching Perlis Online Tuition, organized by Jabatan Pendidikan Perlis and MUET. Today, I have been given this opportunity to give an explanation on one component on MUET. As you all know, MUET comprises of 4 papers, which are Listening 801, Speaking 802, Reading 803, and Writing 804. I will be concentrating on Writing paper 804, as this would be a revision for you, as you will be sitting for this test hopefully in September and October of this year. So basically, you should already have the background knowledge and prior understanding to this paper. So I am going to give you a guideline on how to tackle question 1 in Writing paper. Alright, so as you know, Writing paper 800/4, the allocated time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, there are 2 questions involved here, which is question 1, transferring information from a non-linear source to a linear text, which carries 40 marks, and question 2, a standard writing, which carries 60 marks. So I will be concentrating on question 1, which is the transferring information from a non-linear source to a linear text, which carries 40 marks. The reason why I'm focusing on question 1 is because it has a certain format or a specific format for you to follow. So I will try my very best to explain within this 1 hour given to me. Alright, for question 1, candidates are advised to spend about 40 minutes to complete this question. So you need to time yourself within that 40 minutes. If you're wearing a watch, you need to time yourself exactly 40 minutes to handle question 1. If you exceed 40 minutes in doing question 1 during the exam, you won't have time to complete question 2, which is takes about 50 minutes for you to tackle question 2. Okay, so candidates must read the question and interpret the information in the visuals, and the information you have to write is based on a report, which you have to write within 150 to 200 words. Alright, when you get the question, for question 1, there are important elements that you need to look for before you answer the question. So the first one is to identify the subject matter. The subject matter here is whereby what are you focusing on? Meaning by the report is what you are focusing on the report itself. You have to identify the subject matter. The secondly is you have to identify the time frame. In each question given, there is going to be a time frame, either in years or in months. So you have to identify the time frame. Next, you have to identify the data form given. So this is also important, whereby you have to identify whether the data is in the form of a percentage, or Ringgit Malaysia, or even numbers. Alright, next will be identifying the key features. These are the elements in the question paper, whereby it could be the names of hotels, or names of cars, or names of shopping complexes, or other types of key features. All right. Last one, you have to identify the trend words. Trend words here is you have to use appropriately, and you have to know which one to use for each question given to you. So trend words could be like highest, lowest, increase or decrease. Okay, next, this is the format for the report. You have the title, the introduction, the overview, the content whereby all the analysis and the synthesis will be there, and the conclusion. Later I will explain to you one by one on how you can get the title, the introduction, the overview, and examples of the analysis and synthesis, and also the conclusion. So this is the format of the report. You need to follow this format. You cannot change this format. Okay, but the overview can be put anywhere after the introduction. The overview should not be before the introduction. All right. As I said just now, you have to look at the important elements. These are the 5 elements also you have to consider when you are analyzing and synthesizing. Okay, so when you want to analyze and synthesize, you must identify the subject focus, meaning by the subject focus has to be in the analyzing or the synthesizing that you are doing. You also have to have the key features, the time frame, which time frame you're choosing, and the data, and also the trend word you are using to analyze and to synthesize. Okay, so in an analyze or a synthesize, you must have all these 5 elements in order for you to have a successful analysis and also a successful synthesis. All right, when you are synthesizing, meaning by you are linking both visuals. In question 1, there are going to be 2 visuals given to you. So you need to link those visuals in order for you to successfully synthesize. So when you link both visuals, you have to use certain words. So the words that you can use, I'm giving you some examples. These are just some examples. There are many more other examples that you can use. But basically, usually they will use the word because, due to, most probably due to, most probably because, despite, as, or even though. So choosing these linking words, you have to be very careful. Okay, you cannot just use because all the time. It could be despite or even though, even though. All right, now words that cannot be used are and with. Now if you use the word and or with to link both visuals, you will not get the synthesis. You will probably get only the analysis for both sentences, but you will not get the synthesis if you use the word and with. All right, in the report, you are not allowed to add any additional phrases, opinions, or words such as popular, famous, prefer, and favorite, which are not in the question. So if the question does not have these words, popular, famous, prefer, and favorite, do not use these words in your report. Okay, and also you are not supposed to add any own opinions of yourself in the report if it is not given in the question. All right. This is the table or kind of a formula of how you can get a synthesis, a successful synthesis whereby you link both visuals, visual 1 and visual 2. So visual 1, basically it could be a bar graph, and visual 2 could be a table. So if you did an analysis from visual 1 with all the 5 elements given, and you link it with the appropriate linking word, and you have the second sentence from visual 2, you have a successful analysis, you will get a synthesis. Okay, the next one, the next formula is from visual 1 you have an analysis, and then you link it with the appropriate linking word, but in visual 2 you have a description. D stands for description, whereby there is no trend word in this sentence. But since in visual 1, in the first sentence, you have an analysis, therefore you will have a successful synthesis. Okay, vice versa also for visual 2 and visual 1. Okay, the next formula is from visual 1 you have an analysis. Okay, you have a successful analysis and you use an appropriate linking word. Here ALS stands for analysis with little success, meaning by you have forgotten to put either the data or the time frame. Either one, it cannot be both. If you have forgotten both, you will not get a synthesis. You will only get the analysis given in the first sentence. Okay, so if you have forgotten the time frame and the date, or the data, you will get an ALS, but you will still get a successful synthesis. Alright, same goes with the next formula. And the next formula here, both visuals, visual 1 and visual 2, you have forgotten either the data or the time frame. So both is ALS and ALS, but your synthesis will only be a SLS, which is synthesis with little success, meaning by you have forgotten the data or the time frame. Okay, the next formula is you have an ALS from visual 1, you link it with the appropriate word, linking word, but in visual 2 you have a description. You will only get a SLS, which is synthesis with little success. Okay, so for you to get a higher marks in your question or for your question, you should aim for getting a successful synthesis. If you have all this SLS, 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 you will get a lower mark. Alright. Okay, so how can you score in this question? Meaning by you want to get a higher band for this question. First of all, you must study the question carefully, meaning by you must determine the subject matter from the visuals given, which you have to focus on. The subject matter meaning by what is the whole report going to be all about. Okay, so you must identify it first. Then after that, you identify the key features, the trend, the time frame, and the data. Okay, so subject matter comes first. If your subject matter is wrong, inaccurate, your whole analysis will be inaccurate. So you must identify your subject matter first, then your key features, the trend, the time frame, and data. Next, you determine the data form given. This is also important. You have to determine the data, whether the data is in the form of percentage, Ringgit Malaysia, numbers, age, or hectares or kilometers. This all depends. There are many types of data given in the question for every test given in the MUET test. Okay, so these are just some examples given. Alright, there are also data in the form of thousands. 1,000 meaning by there's 3 zeros, there's millions, which there are 6 zeros in the million. Okay, so you need to be careful with the number of zeros. Okay, being in a exam, in a test hall, you may have or you may make mistakes in putting the zeros in. Okay, so you have to be careful. So because if the data is inaccurate, the analysis or the synthesis will be inaccurate. So you need to be careful with the data. Alright. Next will be establishing a link between the two visuals to synthesize. As I said before, your linking word has to be appropriate or logical. Linking words are important as this will determine whether you have synthesized successfully. So you need to think of appropriate or logical linkers when you want to link both visuals. Alright, remember when you analyze or synthesize, forgetting the data or the time frame, as I said before, you will only get an ALS or an SLS. So try not to forget the data or the time frame. You have to cover all key features given in the report. And as it is a report, the tenses here used is in the past tense. Avoid changing tenses throughout the report as this will affect your marks in language. The present tense form is only used in the introduction of the report. Okay, the rest of the report will be in the past tense. Use varied vocabulary and variety of sentence structures. Ensure accuracy in spelling, grammar, and sentence structures. Leave out any irrelevant information and opinions. Present information concisely and effectively on only information given to you in the question. So, only information given to you in the question. So, you do not add any irrelevant information or opinions of your own in the report. Okay. Next, your report should include title and introduction, overview, key features, analysis, synthesis and of the data, and a conclusion. Next, count the number of words carefully. Any words exceeding 200 words will not be accessed. Okay, here the examiners who are marking your papers will count your words in question 1. They will count exactly 200 words and they will slash on the 200 words. Words after the 200 will not be read by the examiner. So you need to practice doing question 1 so you will not exceed 200 words. The reason I say so, if you exceed 200 words, the examiner has slashed on the 200 words. This would mean that your conclusion will not be in the report. So thereby, your report is incomplete. You do not have a conclusion. This will affect your marks towards the end when they want to give you the final marks. They will say that your report is incomplete because your conclusion is not there. Okay, all right. So when you count your words, you have to also be careful. Proper nouns such as the Republic of China, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Figure 1, January to April is considered as one word. Okay, and then this buy one free one. This one is in an open inverted commas. This one is considered one. Now, if you do not put it in inverted commas, it is considered as 1, 2, 3, 4 words. So you need to use inverted commas, but using these inverted commas only for certain circumstances only, not to be used throughout the report. Okay, I will show you an example later. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll now go on to, to a sample question. I'm going to give you a sample question on writing question 1. Okay, so before that, I would like to remind you that when you write an analysis and synthesis, it should include the following. In the analysis or synthesis, meaning by in one complete sentence, you must have the key features, the trend word, the data, the time frame, and what you are comparing it with. Okay, the key features, which key features you are comparing it with. Okay, so your analysis and your synthesis will have all this. The only difference between synthesis is that it has a linker word. Okay, the only difference. Synthesis is linking both visuals. Analysis, you are analyzing from either from visual 1 or visual 2. But synthesis is a link between two visuals, so there is a plus linker word. Okay? All right. Okay, this is a sample question given to you. So the rubrics here is using only the information given, write about the findings of a survey conducted on shoppers' choice of venues for grocery shopping in 2000 and 2005. In your writing, you are able to link information given in the two visuals. You should write 150 to 200 words. So there are two visuals here, as you can see. Figure 1, shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping, and Table 1, features of shopping venues 2005. Okay, so as I said before, when you get the question, you have to identify the 5 elements. Meaning by you have to identify, first of all, the subject matter. So to get the subject matter, you look at the bar graph, figure 1. Your subject matter will be on this horizontal line here. This horizontal line here, as you can see, the horizontal, it has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80. And beside it, it says there percentage. Okay, so your subject focus here is percentage. But percentage of what? Percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping. So the word percentage has to be the subject matter. You must put percentage here as a subject matter for shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping. Okay, you cannot just put shopper's choice. The percentage here has to be written before the word shoppers. Okay, so you've already identified the subject matter. Now we're going to identify the key features. The key features here are, for figure 1 is hypermarket, convenience store, grocery store, night market and wet market. Okay, as for table 1, the key features are the same: hypermarket, convenience store, grocery store, night market and wet market. Okay, and also the key features for table 1 here are great discounts, convenience, comfort, good service, variety, reasonable price. Okay, all right. Then we determine the time frame. The time frame here is 2000 and the year 2005 for figure 1. And in table 1, the time frame here is 2005. Okay, so as you can see, both figures, the only similarities here is the year 2005. Figure 1 has an extra year of 2000. Okay, all right. For the data, it's given to you here 70, 10. This is 10%, 70%. So you must have the symbol of the percentage, okay, beside the 70. You can't just put 70. You have to put 70 and the symbol percentage beside it. All right. As for table 1, the data form here, as you can see, are in the tick form. Ticks here. So for hypermarket, there are 5 ticks. Convenience store has 1 tick. Grocery and night market has 3 ticks, and wet market has 2 ticks. But you cannot just put 2 ticks. You can't write 2 ticks. Okay. So what you do is, there are 6 features here. So for hypermarket, there are 5 out of 6 features. So you have to write incomplete 5 out of 6 features. You cannot put 5 over 6. It's like a fraction. You cannot put that. That's maths. We're not maths. We're doing MUET. Okay, so it's 5 out of 6 for hypermarket. Convenience store will be 1 out of 6. Grocery store and night market will have 3 out of 6. And wet market will have 2 out of 6. That is the data form. Okay, talking about the open inverted commas here, you can only use open inverted commas for features here. You cannot use for example, you want to put inverted commas for shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping, hoping that examiners will count it as 1. No, they will count it as individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words here. So your open inverted commas will only be used for features. So you can use great discounts, you put inverted commas, it will be considered as 1. And also good service, you put it into inverted commas, will also equal 1. And reasonable price, if you put it into inverted commas, it will also equal 1. But if you do not put the inverted commas, open inverted commas I mean, it will equal to 2. Okay, so you got the question. You've already identified the subject matter, key features, the time frame, and also the data. Now left with the trend word. Okay, the trend word here is, you look at the highest, that's one trend word. Lowest, that's another trend word. And you could also use the word increased or decreased. For hypermarket, it increased. Grocery store, it decreased. Okay, so you can also use those words also for your trend word. Here, same, is also a trend word. Okay, same here. Night market has the same percentage of shopper's choice of venue. Alright, 20%. Okay, same is also a trend word. Okay, trend words here for table 1. Hypermarket here has 5 out of 6 features. So the word here that you can use for trend is most. So hypermarket has the most features of shopping venues, which is 5 out of 6. Whereas convenience store, you can use the word least because it only has 1 feature. Alright, let's start by doing the title for this question. Okay, so I've taken, the title. You can take the title from the rubrics, but as you can see in the rubrics, it only mentions the shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping. Since this is a report, you are reporting on both visuals, meaning by you have the shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping, and you also have features of shopping venues 2005. So your title has to have both titles. Okay, so you take both titles from figure 1 and table 1, you combine it, and you write it, shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping 2000 and 2005, and features of shopping venues for 2005. Okay, as you can see, if you write it in red, the one in red is wrong, because if you write it shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping and features of shopping venues for 2000 and 2005, your title will be inaccurate. Okay, because only the figure 1 has 2 years, table 1 only has 1 year. So you need to separate the years. You cannot combine it like this. Your title will be inaccurate. So be careful. That is why you need to identify the time frame to see whether both visuals are using the same years or are there a difference in the time frame. Okay, alright, that's the title. For the introduction, simple introduction, this is the only way for you to write the introduction. Okay, so what you do is you take the title from each visuals. Okay, the title from each visuals, and you will start off with figure 1 shows shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping, and table 1 shows features of shopping venues 2005. Or you can also write it as figure 1 and table 1 display shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping and features of shopping venues 2005 respectively. I put the word respectively in red is to remind you, if you are planning to write it this way, the word respectively mandatory has to be there. Okay, now if you forget to put the word respectively, this introduction will be inaccurate. So if you are going to be the person who is going to forget the word respectively, then do it the first way here. The simplest way, shows. Figure 1 shows and table 1 shows. Okay? Alright, that's a simple introduction. This is the only way. Shows here, you can change it to other words. If you're proficient enough to change it to other words, you can use displays. Okay? Alright, next will be the overview. Alright, overview is the most important part of the report. Okay, if you do not have the overview in your report, you will probably get a lower mark. Okay, so an overview here, you need to see the link between the two visuals. Okay, the two visuals here, you have to see the link figure 1 and table 1. What is the link? There is going to be a link somehow. Okay, so the link here, how you tackle it is the simplest way, which I do, how I do it and how I teach my students to do it is, you look at the highest. Now, you have to look at 2005 because table 1 only involves 2005. So you look at 2005 data in figure 1, which is the grey one here. You look at the highest and you look at the lowest. Those two only. You look at the highest and you look at the lowest. So we look at the highest, which is hypermarket, which is 70% of shopper's choice. Okay. Then you look at table 1, features of the shopping venues for hypermarket. As you can see, it has 5 out of 6 features of shopping venues. Compared to the rest, hypermarket has the most. So we could say that because of it having most features, it has the highest percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping. Okay, then you look at convenience store. Convenience store in 2005 is the lowest percentage for shopper's choice of venue. Now you look at the table 1 for features for convenience store. As you can see, it only has 1 feature. So compared to the rest, convenience store is the only one with 1 feature. That is why it has the lowest percentage shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping. Okay, so from there we know that the more the features, the higher it will go for these two. Okay, you don't bother looking at the other grocery shopping venues here. Okay, we just look at the highest and the lowest. Alright, so therefore, when you write the overview, you use the word in general or generally. These two are only allowed, in general or generally, you choose. Okay, so you have to start with in general. Features of shopping venues influence percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping for 2005. Okay, the year here is very important, 2005, not 2000 and 2005. Now, if you write for 2000 and 2005, your overview will be inaccurate. Okay, and you must start with the word in general, in phrase in general, and the word generally. Okay, so features of shopping venues influence percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping for 2005. Okay, another thing here I forgot to tell you is the word shoppers with the apostrophe after the S. This is also very important. If you've forgotten to put the apostrophe after the S, it will be inaccurate. So you must remember the apostrophe here. Okay, don't forget the apostrophe. Alright, so that's the overview. That's the simplest way of you to find the link between the both visuals. Okay, alright, we'll now go on to the content. The content here is the analysis and the synthesis. As I said before, you must have the 5 elements in the analysis. Okay, so this is just a revision for you guys. Alright. Okay, we're doing analysis. So analysis, either you take it from figure 1 or from table 1, but usually we always focus on figure 1 because we're focusing on the percentage of shopper's choice. So we take an analysis. An example here, number 1 is in 2000, percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping at the wet market was the highest, 65%. It is the highest, correct, for 2000. In the year 2000, wet market was the highest, 65%. So you had the time frame, 1. The percentage is your subject matter. Shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping is part of your key features. Wet market is also the key features. Highest is your trend word and your data. The comparison here, you are comparing between all 5 venues. Okay, so you have all 5 elements here: the time frame, the key features, the trend, and the data. Okay, second example is in 2000, percentage of shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping at convenience store was the lowest, 5%. So as you can see, it is true that convenience store is the lowest, 5%. So you have the time frame, 2000. Percentage is your subject matter. Shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping is your key features. Convenience store is also your key features. Lowest is your trend word. And 5% is your data. Okay. Next, we'll go for the synthesis. Now, synthesis is the link between both visuals. Okay, the link between both visuals. So you have to choose the appropriate linking word to link both visuals. Okay, so we can only link the year 2005. So in 2005, percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping at the hypermarket was the highest, 70%. Okay, which is true. When we take a look, let's take a look at it. Okay, hypermarket, 70%. It is the highest, correct? 70%. True. All right, so you have everything there. Hope you are not dizzy me pulling this down, up and down, okay? All right, so this in 2005 is the time frame. Percentage is your subject matter. Shopper's choice of venue for grocery shopping is your key features. Hypermarket is your key feature. Highest is your trend, and your data is 70%. So that is a complete analysis. Okay, now we're going to link it with the visual, the second visual. So you use the word because hypermarket had the most features, 5 out of 6, great discounts, convenience, comfort, variety, and reasonable price. So you link it with the word because with the table below, which has the most features, 5 out of 6, and you list it down, great discounts, convenience, comfort, variety, and reasonable price. So when you link or when you list down the features throughout the report, you list it once. At least once, you list it once, the features. Okay, so this time around, I'm just showing you an example. I've listed the great discounts. As you can see, it is in the open inverted commas, and also reasonable price is also in open inverted commas. All right, so the word here because, hypermarket is your key feature, most is your trend, and 5 out of 6 is your data. Okay, all right, the next example is in 2005, percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping at the convenience store was the lowest, 15%, which is true. Okay, I'm going up again. All right, convenience store, it is the lowest, correct, for the year 2005, 15%. Okay, so the year time frame is 2005. The percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping at the convenience store, key features is convenience store, lowest is your trend word, and your data is 15%. The linking word because convenience store had only one feature, which was convenience. Okay, all right, so your linking word here is because, and your key features convenience store, your data is 1. Okay, next, grocery store had a higher percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping in 2000, 45%. Oops, okay, this is, okay, grocery store had a higher percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping in 2045 than in 2005, 25%. Okay, this is, hold on, let me read this again. Okay, even though it had the same 3 features, convenience, good service, and reasonable price. Okay, so we're talking about 2005, it was higher in 2000 and in 2005. So you link it with the, because it has a 2005, you link it with even though it has same 3 features, convenience, and good service and reasonable price. Okay. All right. Number 4, the percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping at night market were the same, 20% in 2000 and 2005, because it had the same number of features, 3 out of 6. Okay, so this one, because it involves 2005, you can link it with the table 1. You're telling me that both years are the same because in 2005, it had the same number of features, 3 out of 6. Okay. All right. Now we come to the conclusion. All right. The conclusion here, you take the overview that you wrote at the very beginning and you bring it down to the conclusion. The only difference here is you use the word in conclusion. You do not use the word generally or in general, sorry. So you use the word in conclusion. Features of shopping venues influence percentage of shoppers' choice for grocery shopping in 2005. All right. So that is your conclusion. Okay, so here I have the complete task, but I put it in a table form, but in the actual exam, you are not supposed to put it in the table form. Okay, just for easier for you to understand. Okay, this is the example. Hold on, it's gone down. All right, this is an example of how you write the whole report. Okay, there is a title here, Shopper's Choice of Venue for Grocery Shopping 2000-2005 and Features of Shopping Venue 2005. Okay, so you have the introduction. Here, figure 1 shows Shopper's Choice of Venue for Grocery Shopping and table 1 shows Features of Shopping Venues 2005. There's your introduction here. Then you have your overview. In general, features of shopping venues influence percentage of shoppers' choice for grocery shopping in 2005. Then you have your content here. Okay, you have all your content here. Then you have the conclusion. In conclusion, features of shopping venues influence shoppers' choice for grocery shopping in 2005. And the number of words is 199 words. You have to count and you have to total your number of words here at the bottom, 199. Do not lie the number of words here. If you lie, the examiners will count exactly. Okay, I want to go back to the sample that I have given you before, which is example number 3 and 4. Okay, now I'm looking at it again, and being human, I have made a mistake. Okay, I have made a mistake whereby you cannot, I am sorry, I'm going to repeat myself, you cannot link this sentence with table 1 because it involves the year 2000. I am so sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so grocery store here, this is not a synthesis, this is an analysis from figure 1. Okay, so grocery store had a higher percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping in 2000, 45%, then in 2005, 25%. Same goes with number 4. You can't link it with table 1 because it involves both years. You can only link to table 1 if you only take 2005. Okay, so when you look back at the question, as you can see, table 1 only involves 2005. So you can only take the data from 2005. So if you want to link this one, you can say night market. In 2005, night market had the same percentage of shoppers' choice of venue for grocery shopping, 20%, even though it had the same number of, or even though it had 3 features in 2005. Okay, so you cannot say both, like this example that I've given here, it has both years, 2000 and 2005. So you cannot link it with the table 1, which is inaccurate. I am so sorry giving you false information just now. I just realized it. I am so sorry again. All right. Okay, so that is all for me today. I hope whatever I had just rambled in the past 45 minutes or so that you have understood and remembered on how to tackle question 1. Again, I would like to say thanks to the organizers for having me here. And lastly, everyone stay home and stay safe. With that, I end with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Daripada Anas bin Malik radhiyallahu anhu berkata, Nabi SAW pernah berdoa, Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal barasi wal jununi wal juzami wa min sayil asqam. Ya Allah, Aku berlindung denganmu daripada penyakit sopak, penyakit gila, penyakit kusta dan penyakit-penyakit yang buruk. Hadis diriwayatkan oleh Al-Imam Abu Dawud dengan sanad yang sahih.